Okay, you guys, I am actually live. I can't believe I am live, and I'm excited. I'm on StreamYard, and Secret Service Sam recommend me to sign up on this thing. So I'm definitely excited. I'm looking forward to doing this. So just bear patient with me and give me grace because this is my first time doing this, and actually the very first time that I'm actually live with you guys. So give me grace and let's get right into it. So before I get started, I just want to tell you the day that I had this morning at my job. So one of my team leader, she came in and she told us that she wanted to talk to us and told us that across from PACU, because I work in a medical office, that one of the nurses want us to take pictures for Halloween. And then I asked her, "Is this mandatory?" She said yes, and I said, "Well, unfortunately, I don't celebrate Halloween. Okay, that's number one. Two, I'm not doing it." And then she got taken back when I said that to her, that I told her I'm not taking pictures. And she said, "Oh, you have to do it." And I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't have to do anything." And I just don't like being told that I have to do something that I really necessarily don't have to do. So when she said that, I'm like, "Well, it's against my religion, and I don't celebrate Halloween. I never did, and that's a fact. And I could come with receipts because in my house, in my upbringings, with me and my sisters, my parents never celebrated Halloween with us. Okay, we never dress up, we never trick or treat, none of that stuff. And I have receipts to back up my claim. So Halloween was never a factor in my childhood at all. It was just nothing to us, because to me it's just a demonic thing, in my opinion. So we didn't celebrate it. So I told the team leader, I'm not doing it, and I'm not taking pictures. Okay, I'm not going to celebrate something that I don't feel comfortable celebrating. So, like I said, she was taken back and she went across, and I guess she told someone, and that's the truth because I've been there for 2 years, and they have done some stuff with Halloween, like decorations, that I never participated. And why should I participate now? So don't let anyone. So the moral of the story is, don't let anyone tell you should do something that you don't feel comfortable doing, and it's okay to tell the person no. That's You don't want to do it, plain and simple. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that was my day, my the day for the day, if that makes sense. And I just wanted to share that with you. So let's get right to it. Now, I have a lot to say, you guys, a lot to say about the whole Candace Owens and her throughout her whole episode, her talking about Charlie Kirk and his assassination and how she wants to get to the bottom of the truth and just want to know why Charlie Kirk got shot. And I have to say, first and foremost, I support Candace Owens 100%. I back her up. I support her, what she's doing. I commend her for doing this. And I just don't understand, and I just wish someone could make sense to me. Why is it when you tell the truth, you have receipts to back it up, and people want to kill you? People want to bankrupt you, take you to court, smear your name. I don't understand. I don't understand. If you tell them the truth and you have receipts, why is it they're trying to condemn you for that? I don't get it. I don't understand that. To me, that is so odd and weird that if you tell the truth and you're not hurting anyone by going to your podcast, talking about different things, because you have a lot of people talk about a lot of crazy shit, excuse my language, stuff that don't make any sense, and it's okay. And people feed off of it. Like, for example, you have pastors, preaching the word, and half the time they're not even preaching the word correctly. But that's okay to do when they're really corrupting some of these, people who are really not, let me just say this, that's trying to get back into Christ, trying to get back in a relationship with God, that they don't know the Bible fully. And you have some, not all, but you have some pastors that use the scriptures. And to me, that's demented. That's twisted to do that. You understand? And it's the same, and I feel like it's just the same thing when someone is telling the truth about something and someone's asking questions. It's like when you ask questions, they condemn you. You shouldn't ask questions. You should shut your mouth and just go by the narrative of what the feds are saying, and that is it. I'm like, why? If the narrative don't make sense, why can we not ask questions? Why people keep bullying Candace Owens and talking bad about her and saying all these crazy things. Oh, she's doing this for clicks. She's doing this to get attention. Or she shouldn't have done that. She should have waited until the memorial, stuff like that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, people don't understand. And I said this in my previous video. If one of my friends or my husband got shot, you think I'm just going to wait? You think anyone in their right mind would just wait until the investigation is over, until they gather everything? Hell to the no. And like I said, everyone grieves differently, okay? Everyone grieves differently. Me, I would not sit down and just wait. I will investigate and find out the truth and ask questions. And that's all she was, just keep doing, just asking questions. But it seemed like it rubbed people the wrong way when she's asking questions. The feds are lying to us when we ask questions, but we can't say anything to the feds. The story that the feds are telling us about about Kirk's assassination, it's very wrong. It doesn't seem right, but we can't ask questions. And the funny thing is, the people that's close to Charlie Kirk, they're not even standing up and saying anything. Not saying that Candace Owens needs a lifeboat, because she can handle her own, obviously. But what I'm saying is, if this woman has receipts after receipts to back up her claim, why no one's not saying, you know what Candace Owens saying is true. She's not wrong. And I have to say, which I'm going to show you a video of Andrew Colvett. He actually confirmed the text messages that Candace display on Tuesday. He even said it's authentic. It's real. But they still saying that she just fabricated and she just made the text up. But even though Andrew confirms now the text message is correct and it's authentic, it's still, I don't understand. I don't understand. It's like when you lie, it's okay. But when you tell the truth and you have receipts, it's like they condemn you and they want to say things to you that to discredit you, to bankrupt you, to sue you. Why? Why would you want to sue someone? Make it make sense. Why would you want to sue someone if they're telling the truth? And think about this. And that's why I think people don't have common sense, you guys. And I'm playing devil advocate here. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, everything that Candace has been saying from the get-go after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, that she's lying. Everything that she said. Do you think in her right mind that she would just lie and make up all this stuff for what? You know, she would lose all credibility. She would lose all her fan base, her viewers, everything. Why would she do that? Again, this is a Christian woman, a woman of God, and all she wants to know is the truth, what happened to her best friend. My gosh, no one can't give her some grace or some slack, but you condemning this woman because she's asking the questions, and on top of that, the question that she's asking makes more sense what the feds are telling us. And you make it seem like this is her first rodeo. She has investigated other stories before. Hello, Brigitte Macron. Okay. Epstein, Harvey Weinstein. The list goes on, you guys. You make it seem like this is her first rodeo. She has investigated things before and dig up stuff and make sure everything is fact-checked. Okay, with the whole the BLM movement and stuff like that, the COVID, everyone thought she was crazy, but she proved people wrong, and she was right about COVID, about Black Lives Matter, everything. So again, if you don't like what she's saying and what she's talking about, go the other way. Okay, why keep blasting her and condemning her and trying to threaten her and her livelihood and her life because she just wants the truth? And she is speaking the truth. Why is that? To me, you're scared. The people are scared and they are frightened because the truth is going to come out. Okay. Let me just say this very, very clear, you guys. When things are hidden in the dark, God is going to bring it in the light. There's so many, not so many times, but I can't say how many times I have to say this. You can run, you can hide, but God is going to bring things to the light. Okay, you can hid things so long, but truth will come out because truth always wins. And there's a truth movement here. Excuse me. Okay, and I just don't understand why people are not stepping up. You have a few people saying some stuff, but not a lot, especially the turning point people. Now, there's one gentleman said, oh, I can't really say anything, and I don't know his name because they're investigating, and I was there. Okay, fine. But the people that wasn't there when Charlie was assassinated, I just don't understand why you can't say anything. You're not going to tamper or mess up the investigation because the investigation is a bunch of BS anyway. Because Tyler Robinson, he is not the shooter. Let's just be clear. The gentleman up the stairwell, that's not even him. That's a different person, a decoy. I made that very clear in my previous video. George Zinn, another decoy, okay? I'm telling you, there's another person who was the shooter, and it could have been military, it could have been someone that's professional, okay? Just to silence Charlie Kirk. Now, again, there was talks, and Candace Owens actually mentioned it too, that Charlie Kirk was feeling very pressured about the Israel government and his stance about that. And you heard it in his own words, you guys, when he was on what's the show? Megyn Kelly. You heard it in his own words. Why am I frozen up? Save. I just don't know what happened, you guys. I just started talking, and now it's just... Anyway, I have no idea what happened, but I'm going to keep going. So pardon me about this again. Some technical difficulties, I don't know. But he was on Megyn Kelly's show, and he even expressed how he felt a certain type of way when he was being bullied, and how he was being gaslighted about, him having a different stance because certain people, certain donors did not want Tucker Carlson on his platform, or Dave Smith, among other people too, Candace Owens as well. And it's just really, really crazy that people will pressure Charlie Kirk because of the things that he believed in and the things that people wanted to talk about. Turning point movement and all that stuff. He wanted to bring people in, and I guess the donors did not like that. And I want to share a video of Charlie Kirk, in his own words, what he said to Megyn Kelly. So take a listen.
So glad you brought this up, and I would second that. Megyn, I think I have a bulletproof resume showing my defense of Israel, both on campus, on social media, to great, let's just say mockery and scorn at times, because I believe it, right? I believe in the scriptural land rights given to Israel. I believe in fulfillment of prophecy. And again, I'm not a theologian, but I'm a Christian. My life was changed in Israel. The spiritual energy is so amazing there. I want them to win. I've said that repeatedly.
Same.
And however, Megyn, you're hitting on something very potent and important. Now, let me first say, I don't want to judge an entire group, because there's been many people in the pro-Israel world that have been very sweet, very kind, very nuanced, very Charlie, you're with us, you don't have to agree all the time. However, and I will say this, the behavior by a lot, both privately and publicly, are pushing people like you and me away. Not like we're going to be pro-Hamas, not like we're going to, but we're like, honestly, the way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megyn, calling me an anti-Semite. I am learning biblical Hebrew and writing a book on the Shabbat. I honor the Shabbat, literally the Jewish Sabbath. I visit Israel and fight for it. And there's another article out in the Times of Israel today. I could read it on air. I was just reading before I got on. Charlie, what are you doing? What am I doing? I'm sorry. Let's just take a step back here. I'm an American citizen. Yes, I want Israel to win. Yes, I'm a Christian. But some of the mess, and you've seen how I've been treated, Megyn, by some, not all, by some.
No, it's very irritating.
It's
been so unfair. They were coming after you after Turning Point for, among other things, that you had Dave Smith there. Dave Smith is allowed to criticize Israel. You had both sides. The Israeli side was overrepresented.
Though. No, you're not allowed to. It's even worse than that. Again, I just want to repeat for the 5th time. I love Israel. I want Israel to win. But my moral character is now being put into question, Megyn. Not my decisions. Not like, hey, are you doing this? Is it smart or is it dumb? But no, I am a bad person if I do this. And I could go, you saw it, Megyn. It was trending on Twitter, thousands of tweets and text messages. And if I were to be charitable and generous, I will say the people that are attacking me are in a hyper paranoid state, because they're at war, and war tends to make things black and white, and you're a hammer looking for a nail. So I'm trying to be charitable, Megyn. Literally, I'm trying to cut as much slack as I can, right? Okay, what would it be like if all of a sudden I'm starting to see a pattern of behavior similar to what my grandparents saw in 1930s Germany online. How would I behave? So that's like my charitable kind of overcompensation spirit. At the same time, I'm like, but it's not defensible to be dumb, right?
Yeah.
So,
and it's offensive. It's offensive to those of us who have been out there defending them in many instances against critics on our own side. And now you have a couple of comments like, well, what about this? Well, has it gone on too long? Like, is it time to wrap it up? And the thing about Epstein is just so bizarre. I don't know who he was an agent for. It might have been Israel or an asset, or it might have been nobody. Yeah. But we're allowed to speculate about that. It's there's some rule. You can't go there when it comes to Israel.
Well, you and I believe that we're Americans and Americans first, period. End of story. We are citizens of this nation, okay?
That's
and
right.
Israel, we have funded, we have supported, and they're up against a sea of Islamic totalitarianism, and we should be cheering for them, right? Because they're up against barbarians and monsters, and we want them to win. However, here is Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk combined, probably 30 million social media followers, like pretty, right? And you and...
Okay, so you get the drift. You heard it from the horse's mouth, okay, that they were putting pressure on him. Okay, because Charlie Kirk, had a different stance of the Israel government. And I just don't understand how us Americans, it's okay for us to criticize our government, but we can't criticize what's going on in the Israeli government. But it's okay for the Israeli government to assert themselves to the United States. How does that make sense? We can't criticize what's going on and what's happening. Like, we don't have eyes to see what's going on. We're not reading the newspaper or looking on social media to see what's going on. It's like we can't criticize. And if we do, we'd be called names. And I just don't understand. Like they're saying that the Israel government, or the governments are good people. Like what they're doing is right. Now, I understand with war, obviously with war, there's going to be casualties. People are going to die when it comes to wars. But in my opinion, it was more than that. Okay, what I saw, the children, the women, the bombing, people being killed left and right. Come on. And we can't criticize what's going on over there. But it's okay for us to criticize our government. And it's okay for the Israelis to insert themselves in our government, because we're funding our tax dollar money to wars for these weapons. Make it make sense. It doesn't make any sense. And that's all what Candace Owens was doing. Just letting you hear the horse's mouth, Charlie Kirk, what he was saying. And it was not a lie. And people are saying that, she said that the Israeli government has something to do with assassination. She never said that, okay? I watched that show from start to finish, after the whole incident that happened with Charlie Kirk. She never said that. There's no proof of it. No proof whatsoever. See how they like to twist things? They like to twist the narrative and make you seem like you're the bad guy. She never said that. And there's no proof of it. However, it looks very suspicious and funny when the Prime Minister, Bibi Netanyahu, inserted himself in saying that Charlie Kirk wrote this letter, blah, blah, blah. Why you had to say that? You know what I mean? I even questioned it when I did a video about that. Like, why would you say anything? Why you can't just say my condolences, blah, 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 and that's it? But then he had to keep inserting himself. Like, Charlie Kirk was for Israel. He died for Israel. Like, how do you know? You're putting words in a dead man's mouth, okay? And then Candace Owens, said, release the letter. Release the letter to see. Because clearly, what you're saying is not accurate. You're lying. And that's the thing I don't understand. Why people are lying. Why people are saying certain things, what Charlie Kirk would felt or done, when he's not even here to represent himself. He's not even here. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that she don't like. Two-face. You're one way with one person, and then the next you're a different way. You get what I'm saying? And that's the thing she didn't like, lies. And I get it. I don't like lies either. Because one little lie turns into big lies and lies and lies and lies. It's despicable. Just tell the truth. Just say, listen, we did pressure Charlie Kirk. We did say this. Just confirm it. And just tell the truth. But when you keep lying and make it seem like she's the crazy one, she's a lunatic, she's out of her mind, she's going bonkers, then that makes me to believe that what she's saying is 100% factual, because you are getting like, people are getting so defensive, making comments, posting this and that, and like, why? What do you got to prove? So to me, you seem very guilty and very desperate, because think about it. If she, and I'm playing devil advocate here, if she was lying and not telling the truth, why would you even care? You would just let it ride out, right? If what Candace Owens is saying from the beginning, after Charlie Kirk got assassinated, why would you speak? Why would you say anything? You would just let the woman talk. It's her show. She can say whatever the freak she wants, okay? She is grieving, and everyone deals with grief differently, okay? For me, if that was me, I would be right on it. I would not sit and wait till the investigation until they gather. Hell to the no. I'd be starting investigating now, because I already got rid of some of the evidence. Look what they did when Charlie Kirk got shot. They paved the crime scene. It looked like it never happened. They got rid of certain footage, okay? They're not releasing the whole footage because they're trying to gather all their information for the trial. And I said it before, there's not going to be a trial. Two options. They're going to kill Tyler Robinson, or they're going to put him in witness protection, okay? Because none of it makes sense. He did not confess. They didn't find a weapon on him. None of that stuff. So the narrative that the feds are saying is just really bogus. The text messages, no 22-year-old lover or trans would write that. They wouldn't. And to go to Daily Queens after shooting someone, that makes no sense either. Okay, the text messages, him going to Daily Queens, it doesn't make any sense. For me, God, if I killed someone, you think I'm just going to go and get a snack? Hell no. I'm going to dodge and hide somewhere. What's the word? Apollo, he's sleeping. I will just end low, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? I will make sure everything is good before I even show my face. But he showed his face like nothing happened. You get what I'm saying? And to me, it's just all a setup. And again, why? They're lying. Why they're not telling the truth? And you have this woman, Candace Owens, telling the truth, and everything that she's saying, it makes sense, you guys. It makes sense, and I'm glad that a lot of people are supporting her. And like I said, you may not agree with her, everything that she talks about. You may not like her, but the thing is, this woman is true. She's honest, and she just want to get to the bottom of what happened to her best friend. Okay, we all witnessed that this man got shot in the neck. Okay, that is traumatizing to the whole world that we actually witnessed this. Okay, because they wanted to silence him, and it's more broader than of what's been happening. I feel like it has to do with the finances. I feel like it has to do with the Turning Point USA. It's more to it. His stance on Israel, and then people are saying that, him converting or thinking about converting into Catholic. And, my husband, he's Catholic. And he even told me, because his, Charlie Kirk's base is all on Christian, but Christian and Catholic, they're the same thing. But he told me, just imagine if Charlie Kirk was alive and he had a change to convert to being Catholic. Just imagine that. Then it would just mess up his whole, not mess up him, but the company would mess up, but the whole financial stance of his business will shift, if that makes sense, because his whole base is on Christians. And just imagine if he converted to Catholic, what is it called? Catholicism, hopefully I'm saying it correctly, that would change. That would change the outcome. You know what I mean? And some people would not like that. You get what I'm saying? Some people would not like that because that would affect the finances. And also, my take on this too, the people in the Turning Point USA, not all of them, the executive, there's some, and I don't know who they are, but I'm just throwing this out of my head. There's some that betrayed him. That there's some of them that took advantage of Charlie Kirk. And he probably knew, just like Candace Owens said, he probably knew. Okay? And the funny thing is, and I believe why people are not stepping up or saying anything or backing Candace Owens and what she is presenting proof, because they don't want to lose donors. It's all about money, you guys, at the end of the day. It's all about money. So just imagine if some of the executive from Turning Point made a stance and stand up for Candace Owens. What she's saying is true. Think about it. They probably lose thousands of donors, okay? And they don't want that. And again, it's all about money. And I just don't understand why money has to rule of doing the right thing, about principle. You get what I'm saying? Because when you're dead, when you pass away, you're not bringing your money with you wherever you're going, whether it's heaven or hell. You're not bringing it. And I just don't understand why people just don't want to do the right thing. The only thing that they're thinking about is money and to get ahead instead of doing the right thing and telling the truth. Because money rules all evil. You know what I mean? Money is not everything. And I just don't understand why people don't want to do the right thing. And you have some people who are doing the right thing and who are stepping up and saying something, but you have some who just don't really care. And just their behavior after Charlie Kirk got assassinated is like, where's his friends? Where's the people saying anything? Nobody. I will hope, God forbid something happened to me, that my friends and family will step up and say something, you know what I mean, on my behalf. And no one's not saying anything because they don't want to mess up the investigation. They don't want to tamper anything. Like, get serious. If you wasn't there, why you can't speak? They want to silence people's voices. They want to silence free speech. And I just don't understand why that is okay. We live in America. We have a right to ask questions if it doesn't seem right. We have a right to question things without feeling that, oh, we're being condemned because we're asking the right questions, and the questions that we're asking, it seems very odd to some people that we shouldn't be asking, that we should just sit back and relax and just enjoy what they're telling us. No, absolutely not. And I just don't understand that. I really don't. And I just want to show you a clip of this video of Andrew Covet, and what he was on a podcast, and he was talking about, Charlie Kirk, about his going to visiting a Catholic church and everything. So take a listen to what he has to say.
Charlie's position on Israel was very clear.
Oops, hold on for a second. Oh, there we go.
I like them more than I like Hamas. I just wish I was free to criticize Israel and not be labeled an anti-Semite, because I can criticize my own government and not be called anti-American.
Right.
But why do I have more freedom to do, that and not criticize, a foreign government? And he was really upset that there was this sort of clampdown on the freedom of expression, the freedom of ideas, free speech when it came to a foreign government. And I will say this, he felt like he had earned the right as a friend of the Jewish people over the years and all of the things that he had done. He felt like his bona fides in that respect were unassailable and that he should have the freedom to say, hey, it's time to end the war.
I couldn't agree. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why we can, like I said, we can criticize our government because we're Americans, but why we can't criticize another country? You know what I mean? And if you do, they call us anti-Semitic, they call us Jewish haters, and no one's not a Jewish hater. We're not talking about Jewish people. We're talking about the government, what their government is doing. You get what I'm saying? That's what people are talking about. They're criticizing your government, the Israel government, the Israeli government. That's what we're criticizing. That's what people are criticizing, not the Jewish people. I love Jewish people. The majority of some people, they love Jewish people too. And that's not what that is about. It's about what's happening over there. And people tend to twist it and call people names and this and that. And, people are onto it and people are not taking that bullshit anymore. Okay, because it gets really old and very sick. Okay, we are allowed to criticize any country we want. That's the whole point of being American. We are allowed to do that. And for them to stop us for criticizing them is just crazy. Like, they think that we're not onto them, what they're doing. By trying to silence us, we don't think that we don't see what's going on, what's happening. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But it's okay for them to insert their business and their whatever into our government, right? That'll make no sense to me. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that. And also, man, I have to say, and I'm going to show you this clip. You know, the plot thickens with Candace Owens, because when she said she's going to produce receipts, she produced receipts. She produced text messages, okay, with 9 other people, talking that Charlie Kirk was talking about, like he lost a donor of $2 million dollars a year because he wanted to bring Tucker Carlson and obviously Candace Owens, and in the text messages, someone was not really happy about that. It's just crazy. And then when she produced receipts, people saying it's fake. Isn't that crazy? It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. If she tells the truth, you condemn her, okay? And then you want to bankrupt her and try to hurt her and her family. But then, and again, I'm playing devil advocate here. Then if you catch her in a lie, she's lying. She's not telling the truth. See, I caught her. Like, what the hell? Like, what is wrong with these people? What is wrong with, you know what it is? They're evil. You guys, they are evil. And I keep saying this. We are battling a spiritual warfare between good and evil. Okay? That have nothing to do with left or right. This is a spiritual warfare. We are fighting against good versus evil. And what's happening here is just pure evil. I just don't understand this, because a long time ago, we had the right to speak our mind, to report things, and as long as factual. And now it's like, if you report something factual and something true, they condemn you, so then you're a liar. It's not true. We're going to try to take you to court. We're going to try to bankrupt you. We're going to try to spear your name. We're going to try to end your life. We're going to try to silence you, just like they silenced Charlie Kirk. You know what I'm saying? They try to kill these people. For what? Why? Because they're telling the truth? Like, let them speak. Let them talk. Let them investigate. Again, what are you trying to prove? To me, that looks very suspicious to me when all these people are saying all these things about Candace Owens. To me, that little stop. Sorry. I don't know what happened here. Forgive me. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, see, I was starting getting a roll, and then this happened. Again, technical difficulties. I'm starting this new StreamYard for the first time, so there's going to be a little bit hiccup. So thank you so much for being patient with me. So like I was saying, I don't understand why. She has her own independent podcast. Let her speak. Let her investigate. Who's it hurting? It's not hurting anyone, especially if she's telling the truth and she's bringing receipts. I don't understand. And if you don't like what she's saying, just don't watch her. Don't watch her show. You know what I mean? Continue going with your life. Let her be. You know what I'm saying? Let her be. But anyway, I'm going to let you listen to Candace Owens and what she said about the text messages and how Charlie Kirk was feeling. So take a listen. Hold on. Sorry, guys.
Huge Jewish donor.
Let's go way back. Let's rewind this. I'm sorry. Okay.
So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year, because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, oh. Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. And somebody writes, a donor writes, please do not invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term. In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times after the dust settles a bit, maybe. So again, this is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was very clear and he was very explicit, and he did not back down, not in that Hamptons meeting, which they're all lying about, nor in this text thread. I'm not going to reveal the names of the other 7. Actually, you know what? I disagree with myself 4 seconds ago. Let's just throw in Josh Hammer for funsies. He's on this chat.
Okay. Now, when she released those text messages, everyone called her a liar. okay, that they were fabricated. She could have easily made those text messages up, which is really ridiculous and absurd for her to do that. And you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. She presented proof, and then now you're saying that they're fake. Well, I'm going to tell you, Andrew Colvett, he confirmed that those texts were authentic, and you're going to hear it in his own words. So take a listen to what he had to say.
To address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain.
Oh, hold on, you guys. There we go. Sorry. A delay.
That has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth.
That's it. Authentic. You heard it from the horse's mouth. He said it's real. Okay. He said it's real. And that's it. That's it. So obviously she's not lying, okay? Because you heard it from the horse's mouth, Andrew, and he's a PR person for the Turning Point USA. He's telling the truth. He told the truth that it's authentic. So people that's saying that it's fake, get out of here. Okay, you're fake. You're lying. You're sweating bullets right now because things are coming out, okay? Things are coming out. You get me? And lastly, before I show you this video, I have to hand it to Candace Owens. This woman is not a woman to mess with. Listen, I would have done exactly the same thing. She is 10 steps ahead of everyone, okay? It's not funny, but it's so smart. It's so smart because I would have done exactly the same thing. She guaranteed that she had an insurance policy and a kill switch. You get what I'm saying? A kill switch. That if anything happens to her, anything, that every document this woman have, text messages, recording, everything, it's going to be released. And the thing is, and I like, before I continue, I like what Candace Owens said. People should not fear death, okay? Death is not the end. You get what I'm saying? And people, when she said that, people were like scratching their head, what do you mean? Meaning that even though your body's physically no longer here on this earth, your spirit is, and your words will continue to be on, if you get what I'm saying, like Charlie Kirk. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, they get rid of her. They try to assassinate her because she's getting too close. She's getting too hot. And people are getting nervous, okay? People are freaking out. She has insurance policy. She has a kill switch, okay, that she gave certain things to certain people. So if things happen to her, boom, everything is going to be exposed. So just think about it. So even though these people, the government, whoever, tried to end her life, good luck. Because even though you try to end her life, she's going to expose everyone. There's nothing that you can say or do about it. You can't say it's fake. You cannot say it's fabricated because no one's not going to believe anything that anyone's going to say about Candace Owens if something happens to her. The feds are not going to, we're not going to believe what the feds are saying. None of us are, because the feds tend to lie to us and not tell the truth. I don't have trust in our government. I'm sorry, I do not. They tend to lie. They don't tend to tell the truth. I'm sorry, I really don't. After what happened to Epstein and JFK and then MLK, we still don't know. Okay, Charlie Kirk assassination, we still don't know. What happened to last year in Pinta Butler with Trump almost got assassinated, we still don't know. Like, it never happened. It never happened. You get what I'm saying? So they want us to keep quiet. They don't want us to investigate. They don't want us to have theories. Well, what do you expect us to do if no one's not telling us the truth? What do you expect us to do? What do you expect us to think? We have to ask questions. So if you're not going to come forward with some type of something, all right, because these text messages, the narrative that you're telling us, we're not buying it. We're not believing it. So you have to come up with something which they're nervous about because they messed up. They dropped the ball. Okay? So what do you expect us to do? Okay? We have to think of some type of narratives, and half the things that Candace Owens is saying and the gunmen are with the ballistics of the gun, that makes sense. And I'm not even a gun person, okay? But what they're explaining makes sense. What Candace is always saying makes sense. I'm even doing my own investigation. And everything that she said corroborates what she's talking about. It makes sense opposed to what the feds are saying. Because what the feds are telling us does not make sense. Something is wrong here. And everyone knows it. We're not dumb. You try to think that we're dumb and we're stupid and try to gaslight us. We're not dumb. We're not falling for it anymore. Enough is enough. We want truth and transparency. That's all Candace always wants. Truth and transparency. What happened to her best friend? And that's why she got that kill. That's why she's doing that kill switch. Good for her. Because I would have done exactly the same thing to protect myself, just in case if something happens to her. Okay? She is not a woman to mess with. She is 10 steps ahead of you guys. Okay? The ones that are trying to hurt her, trying to bankrupt her, trying to, to end her life, allegedly, supposedly. Okay? Because you want her to shut up. But she's not going to shut up. Okay? She's not. Because she's getting closer and closer and closer and closer to the truth. And it's terrifying the people that were involved in some shady stuff. Okay? With people in Turning USA, among other people. The truth is going to come out. It's going to happen, whether people like it or not. You might as well pack up your stuff, take all the money that you have, and just run. Actually, no, running is not the answer, because you could try to run, but we're still going to find you. People are going to find you, okay? The truth is going to come out either way, you run or not. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is truth always wins. I just don't understand why people continue still bashing her, but she doesn't care. And I just love that she has a kill switch. I love that she has a policy, insurance policy and plan, just in case something happens to her. Because again, people are crazy. They're crazy. You tell the truth, they try to kill you for telling the truth, because they don't want the truth to come out. They don't want the exposure to come out for telling the truth. Isn't that crazy? Silence or speech, because we're telling the truth. It's not like we're starting violence or hate or anything, just telling the truth. Just think about that. Telling the truth. If you tell the truth, you get killed. Isn't that funny? And we live in the United States. For telling the truth, you get killed. Isn't that something? Isn't that something, you guys? Anyway, I'm just upset. I'm just annoyed. You can't tell the truth. You have to keep silence. We have to obey and listen to what people say. Hell no. No, enough is enough. You have to speak up. You have to speak up for the truth. Whether it's going to ruin your reputation, your career, or whatever. Fear do not win. You cannot let fear win over you at all. As long as you have God with you, no one can forsake you, because God got you on this. And that's what's the bottom line is. But anyway, before I let you guys go, because I just don't want to take up all your time, because I know I kind of started this stream very late, 6 p.m. I know people have to eat and have dinner and spend time with their family. And again, I really appreciate each and one of you joining in and listening to what I have to say. But I just want to let you listen to Candace Owens in her own words, what she was talking about the kill switch and everything, because this woman, she doesn't play around. Take a listen.
You guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell over the past couple of years. I want you guys to know that I was feeling so inspired by Josh Hammer's utter lack of human decency that I went ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. Such people that are trying to bankrupt me, trying to bankrupt me and my family, that are threatening us, to sue us. Everything that Kanye said was so real, okay? I'm now at that point where you look back and you go, man, Kanye was right. He was really saying something about what it takes to leave, to fight for custody of your own soul. Just leave me alone. Let me say what I believe and you say what you believe. Fight fair. Why do you always have to make this threat to bankrupt people? And I want you to know that those people, if anything happens to me, they have my explicit permission to release it all, detonate it all, expose all of these people in politics and in the media who behave like this behind the scenes. It's necessary. And I highly recommend every single person that is out there that has a platform and is going through things and is scared, do the same. Send everything around to about 8 people that you trust. And I mean, I've ranged it. I sent it to journalists, text messages and screenshots to people ranging from Max Blumenthal to Andrew Tate. They won't know where it's coming from. It will be everywhere.
That's it. Everywhere. Smart. Again, 10 steps ahead. She's not playing. Because you know what? When you have unhinged people trying to bankrupt you, sue you, threaten your family, you have to have a contingency plan. You have to. Look what they did to Charlie Kirk. They silenced him. They put a bullet in his throat, you guys. And next, they're going to try to kill Candace Owens. God forbid, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly. They're getting rid of everyone for telling the truth. Think about that. That doesn't seem odd to you. Them telling the truth. They're just asking questions. Leave them alone. Let them continue to say what they want to say on their podcast. Who are they hurting? To me, when people act like that, they're afraid. They're afraid and they're hiding something and they don't want the truth to come out. Because who acts like that? Think about it. If you're a criminal and you've done something suspicious, you would just act cool and collect. You wouldn't even say a word. You just said, never just let her continue talking. Let her continue saying all this stuff. She don't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even flinch. You wouldn't even break a sweat. But them saying all this stuff on Twitter and saying all this stuff, they're breaking a sweat. They're nervous as balls. Okay? Finally, if Candace Owens can find out that Brigitte Macron has a penis, what makes you think she can't find the truth of what happened to Charlie Kirk? Okay? What makes you think that she can't find the truth? Okay? Because clearly that man is a man, not a woman. That woman has a penis. Okay? So what makes you think she can't find the truth? Just think about that. Just ask yourself that. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching my YouTube channel. That's it. I really appreciate each and one of you so much for joining in and listening. And I'm sorry it's so late. I just wanted to see how this StreamYard went. So far, so good. There was a little bit of hiccups, so I do apologize. And I will see you guys next time. Take care and God bless.